I'm going to read it, The Adventure of the Huckleberry, Chapter 21. It was after sun now, but we were right on an entire. The king and the duke turned out far and bound, looking to figure a sleep, but after they jumped overboard and took a swim in, she pulled them up a good deal. Afterwards, the king had a seat on the corner of the lap, and full of his boots and a lot of his breeches, a lot of his legs dangling in the water, so as to be comfortable, and lit his pipe, and went to scanning Romeo and Juliet by heart. When he had got it pretty good, him and the Duke began to practice it together. The Duke had learned him over and over again how to say every speech, and he made him sigh. And Bob put his hand on his heart, and afterwards he said on it pretty well. Only said, "Listen, fellows," after a minute. I say it like a bull. I must say it so and this kind of thing. So lonely, I say, for Juliet's dear, sweet, and mere child of a girl. In her earnest doesn't like a jackass. Well, next they got out the cover of long sword and the Duke and made out of the oak left, and began to practice the sword. The fighter called himself each other through. And away they laid pranced around the left towards the ground to sea, and by the king trooped and fell overboard, and after that they took a resting. And they talk about all kinds of adventures they had in other times along the river. After dinner the Duke says, "Well, Scuffy, we won't make this first across through. No, I guess the rules add a little more to it. We want a little something to answer the coast with. Anyway." But on coast, very water, and the Duke told me, and I said, by doing this, the Highland fling around as I listened, how far can you and the on the seesaw, rotate. You can have the solely long quiet, and the twitch. And this is all long quiet. And you know it's the most celebrated theme in Shakespeare's is the dreams the room always to catch the whole house. I haven't got it in the book, and I've only got one volume, but I reckon I can piece it out from memory. So I'm just walk up and down, and merely and see if I can, and call it back from the collection supports. So went marching up and down and thinking, and found his whole every now and then. Then he would polish up his eyebrows, and next he would squeeze his hand on his forehead and stare back at kind of a moon. Next he would say, and next was he left on to drop a tear. It was beautiful to see him, and by he got it, he told us to give attention. Then he strikes most and nobody truth, which one likes shoved the cord and then his arms and stretched away out, and his head to his back looking up at the sky, and then he begins to lick and rail and grit his teeth, and after that all through his speech he howled and spread arm, and so up to his chest, and just knocked the spot out of any acting of her. I said first, this is the speech, I learned it in Egypt. Why was learning it to the king? To be honest, as the bell-booking makes climate of such a long night. But who would follow there? Choose the arms to the country, thus nonsense, but that the fear of something after that murders the innocently. Great nature, second chorus, and because the last string, the errors of our instruction, imply to others that none of there's the respect must give us the post, wicked against with the knockings of the dogs and the bird who bear the big dead and strong time. The oppressors were the proud man's the continued to love the eye and the fires, which is the fangs of my neck, and that is the west is the middle of night, when Cheshire the young in customary suit of the song bright. But there is the undiscovered countries from whose bound to notorious regions breathe, fort continuing on the wall, and that's the native pure of reservation like it as the food, yes, This cycloid is followed with care, and all the powers that lower or ours the house checks. With this regard, there's current right and the rules, negotiation, and this is consummations, and the both to be wished, but up to you, and then there's the failure of an idea on the in the marvelous, and that get the out one. Hey, good. But the old man liked the speech and might as soon as God says could do it, but already seemed like it was just one for it. When he had his hand in and then was excited, it was perfectly lovely the way he was a rip and tear on the layer of the behind and when he was getting it off. The poor sounds reward the Jew. There some shovels to print it, and after that, and for 3 days, and we float around. Afterwards, it's most uncommon likely, and placed above there the ones and nothing but swore fighting and rehearsing, as the Duke can call it, going on all time. When we were pretty well done, the state of the Arkansas, we come instead of a little one horse down into the can, and so we tie up about 3/4 of miles above it, in the mouth of the plain, which was a church like a tunnel by the cypress trees, all of us, but he took the canoe and went on there to see it over there. And just in that place for our show, we struck it mighty lucky. There was going to a soccer there that afternoon, and then the country strippers were letting the need to come in all kinds of old shackly wagons and on horses. The circus would leave at night, and so our shows would have a pretty good chance. The Guru, he hired the courthouse. We went on and struck about this. They read like this. Deliver Shakespearean Bibles, wonderful Arthurian, for 1 night only. It world-renowned tragedians, David Galley the Younger, or Drury Lane, the Theatre London, and Adam Duncan the Elder, of Royal Hamlet's Theatre, Whitechapel, the Lane, the Fair College London, and the Lloyd's, the Continental Theatres, and their albums, Shakespeare's spectacle and titles of balloons in the Romeo and Juliet. Blah blah blah. Then we went on looking around town, the stores and house was most all shakily bright out frame constant that had never been painted. They would set up the 3 or the 4 food around on the street so as to be out of the reach of the water and the rivers overflowed. The houses had a little garden around them, but they didn't seem to raise hardly anything in them, but was overflowed. The house was had a little garden around them, but they didn't seem to raise hardly anything in them, but Simpson's wheat and then some flowers and she pies all cut up to boots and shows and piece of bottles flag and flying out in cinema on the fences made of different kinds of people, nailed on at different times. And I ran over which is way and then had a gay and then didn't generally have the part 1 hinges. A lot of one, some of the fences that had been to wind washed some time or another, but the Duke said it was in Columbus times like enough. There were generally and a whole scene their garden and the people driving them out. All the stores alone in the street. They had a wife domestic mornings in fun. The country people hitches their house and to the going to post. There was empty bright goods and boxes under the awning and loafers roosting on them all night long. Whistling them with their balloon knives and a charm and tobacco and gaping and yawning and stretching some mighty only lot. They generally had 1 yellow straw hat most as wide as umbrellas, but didn't wear no coats nor waistcoats. They called one another boots and the Buck and the Hank and the Joe and the top ladies story. You were considerable many coats the word, and there was as many as 1 loafer, any of them, and against every awning first, and most always have his hand in his rich pockets. Except when passes out to Lena Chora from a stranger. But it was showing amongst them all the time was me a show on tobacco paint. And I got about one show left as a bill. Maybe the bill he gives him a show and maybe he licenses and ain't got none. Some of them are kinds of loafers in Nevada has to send in the world or throw tobacco of their own. They get all their charges by borrowing. They say to his fellow, I wish that you to let me throw. The guy is this minister give Ben Thompson the last charge I had, which is a lie pretty much every time. It is this fool. Nobody's bother strangers but Jack ain't no stranger, so he says. You gave him a throw, did you? So did your sister's cast grandmother. You played me back and shows that you were like it's the boring enough miserable a line with purple. And I don't know you and one or two are ton of it. And one's charge, you know back interest another. Well, I need to pay you to back some of these for it. Yes you did. I'll take chores and get foliage thrower and then toe backer and the feedback in your hand. So her back is flat black in the front, and then these fellows must be throw and the natural sleep twisted. When they borrow a throw, they don't generally cut up with a knife and bust at the floor between their fists. Now with their teeth and then target the frog with their hands too, they get in top, and then sometimes the that owns the tobacco looks moves at it and then hands back and says sarcastic, yeah, give me the throw, and you take the flag. All the street lines were just mud. They wanted nothing to do but mud. It's the mud as black as tar and nigh about a foot deep in some places, 2 or 3 inches deep in all the places. Foxglove as a grungy is found everywhere. You'll see her mature and then list of peaks and then comes laying around the street and follows and has everyone down in a way. Where folk have to work around her. And then she stretched out, shut her eyes, waved her ear and voice fixed about moving her. Although I have to as if that she was sorry. And pretty soon, you hear a lover sticking out some high, a boy sitting child. And a wait or so would go, and the screaming was horrible to a dog or 2 screaming to each ear. 3 or 4 dozens more are coming. Then you will see all of us get up and then was the thing out of sight and the left back up. And I looked like it was full of noise. Then they started back again serious and there was a dog fight. There couldn't anything to wake them up all over. Make them happy all over, like a dog fight. Unless they might be putting turpentine on a stray dog and setting fire to him, or tying a thin band to his hair and making him alarm himself to death. Now they would front some of the houses was sticking out of the rain. And there was loud and the band and the loud was tumbling. The people had moved out of them. Everyone was caved away down the one corner of some others. And the corners was hanging up with people living in the mine. It was on the sun, and go sometimes street and then land. It was a house and kept at time. Sometimes about land and quarter of the mile deep and stood with some settling and a cave along the tears that all carried to the liver in one time. Such a town as the house to be always going back and back and back and because the river is always knowing it. The nearest they got to movement that the covers over the wagons and holes in the street and more coming all the time. Families especially there was dinners to them from the country. Eat them in the wagon, and there was considerable whiskey drinking going on. After dinner to fight by and by somebody signs out. Here comes the old folks, and from the country's first little old monthly return. Here comes the boys, all of us look like they thought like them. They were you just having fun out of the box. One of them says and the wonders to who less games to chores of the just hands. If they chore up, one way is spend noon and then chore up in the last 20 years. And he have control of the situation now. Another one says I wish this old box and threatens me. Cutting a head of someone and noise and dies for those years. Wolves comes chewing on his doors walking and yelling like in June. I was seen out, and Claire directed her, and then I am the wolf path, and then precisely the coffin is a couch choice. He was drunk and weaving about in his cell. He was over 50 years old, and then had a very lighted face. Everybody yelled at him, and laughed at him, and touched him, and he cut back, and then everything them and lay them out in there for the regular times, but he couldn't wait now, because he had a couch town to kill all Conrad's children. And his motto was meet with first and fluence the bitterest and top of them. His name and the Lord of Heaven said so. Alright, you're the company, and the voice the prevent dying. Then he rode on. I was scared about a man's death. He don't mean nothing. He's always unscared, so like that when he's drunk. It's the best notorietist all the tools in the Arkansas, never heard of a very strong observer. Was load up, and we were the biggest store in town, and when his header is down so here, we could see some of the cutting or yawning, and then yes, come out here, come out and meet the man, who was on the room I am after this time, going on to. As we went on, calling servants everything to be could, lay his tongue to, and the whole street packed with the people listening, laughing and going on and by and proud, and the commence about 55 and was a hip and the best man in that town to set out of the street, and the crowd drops the bag on each side of Lincoln. He passed the boat and mighty scams and slowly says, I'm tired of this. How about all endures the chills smallpox? Give smallpox mine, no longer if you open your mouth against me only once. At the time you can't travel so far, but I will find you. Many times then broken, how my sorrow. Nobody sorrow that they won. No more laughing groups. Lord off the back garden, short one, as loud as the school yell. All down the street, and the Christian back and comes and shouting before the store, still keeping up. Some men squad with him and try to get him shot. And when Judith, they told him it would be 1 o'clock in about 15 minutes, so he must go home. He must go right away. And then, but it is good, no good. And then he cut away with all his might, and then throw his head down in the mud and the load of it. Freezing away when I'm rising down the street again. Well, it's great to hear fights. Everybody could get a chance at him, they cried, and the master comes up of his horse, and so they could lock him up and get him somewhere when he wants up in the street. He would cheer again. He was sure once not under something and somebody says, you have for his daughters. Go for his daughters sometimes he wasn't sure. Everybody was kept frustrated, and so somebody sat on the run, and I went down the street. He said, stop, and go down, about 10 years, and there's goals again, It was reading, and there was the street, and was me, and there, and it was just fan of both sides of him, some whole, always times, hurrying around, and he was quiet, blue, uneasy, and he won, hang back. And if the battle was doing some of the hurrying after somebody sprang out drugs. I looked over there to see who said it, and it was that Colonel Sherman. He was standing perfectly in the street. I'm so lazy in his right hand, and not aiming at the spot, holding out with his barrel tape up and toward the sky. The same second, I see a young ghost coming on the horse. And the man would have hurried to both the man and turn around and see who called him. When they see the officers, the man jumped to one side. The officer barrels come down slow and fast. The level was barrels cocked. Broke, dropped the both of his hand and said, roll down, shoot. Bang! There goes the first shot. The he staggered back and it fell in the air. Bang goes the second one, and he tumbles backwards onto the ground. Eventually, with arms spread out, stay on go, they scream out and come, lashing and down. She throws outside on the spot of fire and saying almost killed him. And the crowd pulled up and armed his shoulder and his hand up, and when there's the next stretch there, trying to see people on the side of trying to show the dragon shouting to back, giving him air. Colonel Sherman, but he tosses his fist around the ground and the heat and the water. Oh. They just walked to the drugstore, the crowd passing around just the same, the whole town and following. I watched that we got a good place at the window, so when I was very close to him and could see him. I laid him on the floor and put a large Bible stone in his head, and I opened the one and sprayed on, and the breaststrings and bar. They tore his off and shirt, and first asking whether one would win in. He made a vow to doesn't alone, and gasped, blessed to lifting the Bible up to when he drawer in his breath and letting it down, again when the breathe out, and then after that he laid his feet was that. Then they the foolish the daughter words from him, screaming and crying, and took her out when she was about 16, and very sweet and gentle looking, but awful pale, scared. But pretty soon the whole town was there, storming and scorching and pushing and shoving to get at the window and the Harry. The people had the place to give them up, and the folks behind them was saying it all the time. So now, you looked up, the fellows saying, right and thing to bill for you to say, all the time, and never give nobody a chance now if the folks had there to light as well as you. There was a considerable drawing back, so I slid out, simply to maybe there was a going to the trouble. The serial school and everybody was excited, everybody had the scenes in the shooting, telling how it happened. There was a big crowd packed around each other, these fellows, stretching their neck and listening to their long. Like a man and with long hair and a big wide as the forehead and with a sharp too, and the people following around from one place to the other, and watching everything's done. And above them is down their heads to show they understood, and stooping a little and resting their hands on their thighs. Watching him, and to make marks placed on the ground, which is kind. And then he threw up to straight and stooped to wet the Sharon's head too, and throwing and then having his head to bring down over his eyes and thrown out. And the box and then the prejudice that came down, slow to level, that is the bank, say with the backward and say the bank. Again spread down to flat one's back. The people that have seen the things that without suspect that it was just exactly the way it all happens then. As much as a dozen people got out there to photos and tweeting. But by and by somebody started shoving out to be winched in about a community everybody was saying. So away they went, better running, searching down a recorded line that they come to do, saying it. Okay, let it. So, breaking is on the lever front. Yes, on the lever front.